Hello and welcome to the workshop. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you very, very much. If you are new to the channel, you have not already done so, consider subscribing because we upload a lot of sneaker videos. If you are into sneakers, you are in good hands. Buckets, please define a lot for the people.
Almost every single day.
Almost every single day. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mr. Foamer Simpson. Same name across the boards when I am not here talking to you about sneakers in this illustrious boxed corner. Buckets, what is it? Give me a good adjective.
I mean, I said corner last week. You didn't like it.
A amalgamation of sneaker boxes. You can find me over on those other platforms. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that thumbs up button. Really does go a long way, helps the channel continue to grow, lets us know what type of content, what type of sneakers you want to see. I believe that's a win-win. And last thing I want to mention is uncivilizedstore.com. Buckets, who is behind the camera, and myself, we have a clothing brand. Uncivilizedstore.com is where we sell said clothing. We'll throw a link in the description of this video. We got a lot of cool stuff on the website right now. Limited quantities though, so you can check that out at your leisure. Buckets, how you feeling?
I feel good.
Anything to add? We diving in.
Diving in.
3, 2, 1, bang, bang. This is the Air Jordan 4 Wet Cement. These just released over the weekend and retail was $225. I was able to scoop this pair locally, although I do think they sold out most places, at least the places that I checked online. I gotta say right out of the box, they're much nicer than I expected. I am a little bit of a sucker for the monochromatic thing. I just like that look with the gray on gray on gray. And I gotta say this, please don't hate me. Come on, please don't hate me. But I gotta say it, these do remind us a little bit of the Cause 4. They just do. Granted, they are not nearly as nice as the Cause pair, but it's a very similar vibe with the all gray colorway and the fact that it is obviously a Jordan 4 as well. Now, the actual inspo for this sneaker, or this colorway I should say, is the Olympics, which are over in Paris right now, specifically their cobblestone streets, hence the wet cement moniker. Typically, when we think of an Olympic inspired sneaker, it's gonna be white, red, navy, something along those lines. So it's kind of cool that they paid homage in a different way, and they did execute it very nicely in my opinion. Even the box is pretty cool. It's textured, so it feels almost like cement, just kind of a nice detail. Now, as far as the sneakers go, it's an all gray Jordan 4, nothing really to talk about there. Either you like that or you don't, but there are some cool details kind of within that. You've got this really short, smooth suede on most of the upper, and then kind of a longer haired coated suede wrapping around the front of the sneaker. Gives you that wet cement sort of feel. And I really like what they did with the netting on the side and the bottom half of the tongue. Instead of the traditional netting that we usually see on Jordan 4s, it's just a debossed netting pattern, which elevates it in my opinion. It feels a little bit higher end. You've got some light gray on gray speckling on the wings and the lace loop panels here, again with that wet cement vibe. Same thing on the back of the sneaker, Jumpman logo as you can see. More debossing on the tongue, where you see this flight patch actually pressed in, where normally it would be sewn on. You got the upside down Air Jordan on the back of the tongue. Light gray ankle liner, and it's almost like a velour type material. Very, very nice. Light gray laces, dark gray midsole, and they capped it off with the dark gray outsole, another Jumpman logo for good measure. So even though it is an all gray sneaker, between the different shades of gray and the materials they used, It really does break it up nicely. I dig them. I think it's a dope sneaker. Are they worth $225? I don't know about that. Everyone is going to have to decide that for themselves, but I think so. For me, it does feel more premium than a normal Jordan retro release. I should mention that I'm a little bit of a Jordan 4 fanatic at this point. It's been my most worn sneaker, the most worn model, I should say, over the last few years. I've mentioned it in a bunch of previous videos, from the Union LA pair, to the reimagined Breads, to the Pine Green SBs, to the military 4s. I pretty much always have a pair in rotation. So you could say, Buckets, you could venture to say, you could go out on a limb and say I'm a little bit biased when it comes to the Jordan 4.
Sure.
You are as well.
I am.
Nonetheless, I think they did a very, very good job on these. Man, scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give these an 8.7 out of 10. For all the reasons I already mentioned. I think the materials they used are nice. I think it just feels a little elevated, Buckets.
It definitely has a premium. The monochromatic theme is always kind of feels elevated.
Agreed. But they did with the materials.
I agree, but I'm just saying that the monochromatic Jordan 4 specifically.
It's high fashion.
Yeah. And
it's runway.
It's very runway. It's very Zoolander. Public School on the 12.
Yeah, I remember those. That's, man, good callback on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The all gray. It feels elevated.
Agreed. It has kind of a luxurious feel to it. And I just like the look of them. I like the Jordan 4 look. If this was on a model that I don't like as much, if this was on the 13, for example, I probably wouldn't like it quite as much. But I love Jordan 4s. 1s, 3s, 4s. It's tough, man. I love them. They're so wearable. I end up wearing them a ton, so I feel like I'm getting a little bit more bang for my buck. And those are my thoughts. Buckets, you're giving them a what out of 10?
I'll go 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah.
Thought we might get a higher score out of you today because you do love Jordan 4s.
Oh, I mean, 7.5 is a good score.
7.5 is solid.
I mean,
it's solid.
No, it's much more than solid.
So you like these, you don't love them, is what you're saying?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. All right. Anything else to add, or you just...
I mean, I really like them. I don't love them.
All right. 7.5 doesn't feel really like? Okay.
No, I mean, your scale's different than my scale.
A little bit. Leave a comment below. Let us know, how do you feel about this colorway? How do you feel about this sneaker? Buckets, have you seen the gray cobblestone streets of Paris?
Of Paris? No, I haven't.
Paris. It's a very cool look.
Maybe I'll pull it up right now.
Yeah, that Parisian, superimpose it in front of me, behind me.
It's going to be covering you.
Get a violin playing in the background.
No violin.
Maybe a croissant floating across the screen.
Probably not.
And then like a lizard, my tongue just...
Nah.
Yeah. I'm a pastry lizard.
You're a pastry lizard. I'm not doing that editing.
It's one of my AKAs. Let us know, how do you feel about this sneaker? How do you feel about Jordan 4s? This was a weird one because I feel like we've seen so many retros sit recently, but these did seem to sell out. I don't know if they sold out right away, but it seems like at the end of the weekend, I checked a couple websites and they were gone in basically every size. So it's kind of, people are feeling these, definitely. I don't know how many pairs they made, et cetera, but it seems like people like them. I definitely like them. Buckets, you like them. Let us know how you feel. Always love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. You are very, very appreciated. We will be back tomorrow, mañana, same time, same place, right here at the workshop with a brand new sneaker for your head top. I got nothing else. Buckets, anything from you?
Nope.
Hasta la vista.